I'm Ashley Sears, and these are Wisconsin's Most Wanted for September 2025.
A family feud spills out of a bar and onto a popular Wauwatosa street and ends with one person shot.
Fox 6's Ashley Sears digs into the search for the suspect, who then took off.
Like the branches of a tree, families can grow in different directions. Investigators say what happened between Willie Anderson, his brother and cousin, only moved them further apart.
Someone who's willing to make that type of reckless decision needs to answer for it.
On August 3rd, Willie, his brother Terry, and cousin Jamal Davis were at a popular Wauwatosa bar when investigators say an argument inside spilled onto North Avenue.
It becomes physical. Some people do call it in, and officers are quick to respond and break that up.
Police left when they thought cooler heads prevailed, but what happened a few minutes later was not rooted in love.
The two brothers are fighting, Terry and Willie, and Jamal tries to separate them at one point.
U.S. Marshals say both brothers pulled out guns and began shooting at each other on the busy street around bar close.
Definitely a reckless place. Any place is reckless, but right down kind of Main Street there is very reckless.
Jamal was hit in the leg. Police say the two brothers took off. All three men were charged. Willie is still on the run.
I'm sure he has a side to the story, and if he wants it to be heard, he's going to need to answer what he's done. U.S.
Marshals want this fugitive to know he's not out of the woods just yet. In Wauwatosa, Ashley Sears, Fox 6 News.
So let's recap here. Willie Anderson is about 6'3". The 40-year-old is believed to be in Milwaukee, but he does have ties, strong ones, to Pine Bluff, Arkansas. If you do know where he is tonight, the U.S. Marshals tip line can be reached at 414-297-3707, and you can remain anonymous.
3 people accused in an armed robbery are on the run tonight. Investigators say they used Facebook Marketplace to find a target and steal a truck.
Fox 6's Ashley Sears shows us the evidence they left behind.
It's a popular place to buy and sell, from furniture and toys to cars and trucks. But posts here can attract unwanted attention.
If they're willing to do this kind of act in the city of Racine, I'm sure they're willing to do it elsewhere.
In June 2024, one ad listing a truck on Facebook Marketplace became the target of some people who investigators say never intended to buy it.
Cesar Silva made arrangements to meet. They met in Racine. They did a test drive.
Scott Keelan is an officer with Racine Police and part of the U.S. Marshals Task Force. He says Silva, along with Fernando Diaz, Emilia Gutierrez, and another person, met up with the seller.
When they got there, Cesar remained in the car with Emilia, and Fernando Diaz and the fourth suspect went for a test drive with the victim.
U.S. Marshals say Diaz took the victim's cell phone and threw it out the window, then pulled out a gun.
He tells them, "I need the money, don't do anything stupid, I will shoot you."
Investigators say they drove around Racine discussing plans to head back to Milwaukee when they got stopped in traffic. That's when the victim opened the door, ran off, and called police at a nearby gas station.
Based on their criminal history and prior police contacts, we do know that they're involved in a lot of illegal activity.
The stolen truck was found the next day, and a juvenile was arrested. Diaz, Silva, and Gutierrez were charged and have been on the run ever since.
They kind of disappeared after that. Fernando and Cesar both have active warrants in addition to the armed carjacking.
Diaz has recognizable tattoos on his arm, hand, and behind his ear. Investigators believe the 3 are on Milwaukee's south side.
I highly recommend they turn themselves in, face the consequences for their actions.
U.S. Marshals say they want to make sure these fugitives pay for what they did so they can close this case for good. In Racine, Ashley Sears, Fox 6 News.
Cesar Silva, Fernando Diaz, and Amelia Gutierrez. They are believed to be on Milwaukee's south side right now. Diaz has a tattoo of a bird on his shoulder and a skull on his left hand. If you know where these three fugitives are, the U.S. Marshals, they would love to hear from you. The tip line, 414-297-3707. As always, you will remain anonymous.
U.S. Marshals are looking for a Milwaukee man charged with stabbing his wife in the neck multiple times. Now, she survived, and he went on the run. Tonight, Ashley Sears with why he may have fled the country.
Sometimes reality can be scarier than fiction. A Milwaukee crime that seemed like a horror movie plot turned out to be a real-life nightmare.
His actions that night were horrific.
For nearly a decade, U.S. Marshals have been searching for Luis Alcaraz Rocha after a night of anger led to serious charges.
It takes a special mindset to be able to engage in that type of behavior against somebody that you allegedly care for.
In August 2016, investigators say Alcaraz Rocha walked into his Milwaukee home and woke up his wife.
He alleges that there's some infidelity and the two get into some type of confrontational exchange.
The argument moved into the living room and turned violent. Prosecutors say Alcaraz Rocha pulled out a knife.
He stabbed her multiple times and she did survive. However, the knife was actually still in her neck as she fled the scene.
She called police and her husband went on the run. The now 49-year-old has no criminal history and ties to Milwaukee and Mexico. We've
been following a bunch of different leads in this matter and haven't been able to put anything solid together, and that's why we're asking for the public's help.
It's time for this bad dream to end. U.S. Marshals say they want to make sure this fugitive never strikes again. In Milwaukee, Ashley Sears, FOX 6 News.
Luis Alcaraz Rocha is 5'7", goes about 188 pounds. The 49-year-old could be in Milwaukee, or he could be as far away as his home country in Mexico. But if you know where he is tonight, you are urged to call U.S. Marshals. Here's the tip line, 414-297-3707. And of course, you can remain anonymous. U.S. Marshals are looking for a Wauwatosa man they say used his car as a weapon. Investigators say he repeatedly crashed it with a woman inside, not allowing her to escape. He's been on the run now for nearly 2 years. Fox 6's Ashley Sears explains where he could be hiding out.
When behind the wheel, concentration is required, or else you run the risk of veering down the wrong path. U.S. Marshals say in February 2024, Luis Cruz Trejo threw the rules of the road out the window during a scary rampage.
He clearly is a threat to others.
The 32-year-old was charged after what authorities describe as a violent struggle through Wauwatosa County.
To do that to an ex-girlfriend is pretty terrible.
U.S. Marshals say Cruz Trejo went berserk during an argument with the woman.
He says, if you're not going to be with me, I'll kill you.
As they headed down Interstate 94 westbound, investigators say he intentionally crashed his car, hitting a guardrail, trying to hurt the woman. But it didn't stop there.
At the top of the off-ramp there, the female victim attempted to flee the vehicle, at which point Cruz Trejo pulled her back into the vehicle and continued assaulting her.
She tried running out of the car at a stoplight when U.S. Marshals say the Wauwatosa man tackled her and pulled her back inside.
This time he finds a light pole in a parking lot and crashes into the light pole, again trying to injure the victim.
The woman had cuts and bruises on her arms and legs.
When they hit the light pole, the door actually shut on her legs, causing bruising.
She went to police and Cruz Trejo fled. He has ties to Waukesha, Milwaukee, and Watertown. U.S. Marshals say it's time for the games to stop.
The longer this goes on, the longer we're just delaying the inevitable.
Law enforcement trying to put the brakes on the fugitive's run. and get this case back on the right path. In Waukesha, Ashley Sears, Fox 6 News.
So let's recap here. Luis Cruz Trejo, 5'7", goes about 190. 32-year-old has ties to Watertown, Waukesha, and Milwaukee. If you know where he is, and there's a good picture of him, you're asked to call the U.S. Marshals tip line, 414-297-3707. You can remain anonymous.
If you know how to find any of these fugitives, you're encouraged to call the U.S. Marshal tip line at 414-297-3707. You will remain anonymous.